Some people claim that Mexico should be expelled from the World Cup, and all because of the Mexican fans.
Mexico should be eliminated from the World Cup.
Ecuador hasn't lost the World Cup. The one who lost is Mexico because the images we've seen are absolutely shameful. Come on.
The sons of Ecuador.
The sons of...
Here we have another angle of the awful woman who threw her drink at an Ecuador fan. And honestly, it's disgusting.
And there, going back to reality. Asco.
That is totally unacceptable, unjustifiable, just like what happened with the girl who threw liquid at the Ecuadorian fan.
Okay, how disgusting, how unsportsmanlike.
Yes, that's exactly what you heard. And I'm saying this as a true football fan.
Regarding yesterday's events during the Mexican national team's victory celebrations,
Let's analyze things because what's happening in our country is a real shame.
In the last 24 hours, we've seen how a soccer team was intimidated throughout the whole night. How the president of the country herself, let's see, no, asin, now stay, yes, stay, now stay.
About the chants directed at the Ecuadorian national team, I've already talked about that in another video. I find it shameful, however, it's something that's done quite often in the region. In fact, Ecuadorians have also done it to the Mexican national team in the past. So, what do you want me to say? Unacceptable, yes. Reprehensible too. But sadly, it's something very common.
He was facing the president of Ecuador, how the Mexicans themselves were destroying their own country to celebrate that they had won.
How awful. Because you can come and support and cheer for your team for an hour or two, but not in the way he did.
Friends, now it's clear why President Donald
Trump says that in Mexico there's no one who
governs. There's no president there, man or woman. What's happening with the Ecuadorian national team in that country is abominable.
How they were throwing cups and drinks in the faces of the reporters who were broadcasting the match.
Unjustifiable. Definitely, there's no justification.
The whole stadium, an absolute disgrace.
And going back to the football side of things, that's a disgrace. It's that simple, a disgrace. And yes, I know the cup was empty. I know it didn't really hurt him as such, but still, it's a total lack of respect, a complete lack of manners.
What isn't so cool anymore is that this becomes a platform for the most Neanderthal and grotesque behavior human beings are capable of.
The words they said, the hate they were spewing, they were crossing the thin line between passion for the sport, for soccer, sharing, and being too fanatic.
And I don't know about you,
I'm sorry, I can't show this on YouTube, okay?
but for me, far from making me feel proud of that Mexican spark.
I thought it was awful, 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 in terrible taste, terrible behavior. These fans who made noise in front of the Ecuador national team's hotel, I think it's terrible.
Just because it was done before doesn't mean it's okay now. I totally agree. Just because the hotel thing was done before and it was done to Mexico in the past. And that they do it in Honduras, in Costa Rica, in El Salvador. That doesn't mean it's right. I mean, you can't go and do that.
Because at that point, you're no longer...
You're supporting Mexico anymore. You're trying to get an advantage of the field.
Most people at the stadium are wealthy and proud of their education. I'll leave you with these images.
To me, these actions, a reflection of the social decay we live in, make me feel extremely ashamed.
Look at the state they left the streets in. Look at how they treated passing cars, the chaos they caused in the city.
And the most serious thing, throwing fireworks at the Ecuador team hotel.
If this was the mess,
Please, people, I want you to realize something important. Many of the people who are questioning and criticizing this are Mexicans. I stress this so you know, not all Mexican people are like that. A lot of people in Mexico, of course, are against this kind of behavior. Because it's unjustifiable. I've even made videos criticizing what happens in France when PSG wins the Champions League. They completely destroy the city. I think it's crazy. Well, I feel exactly the same way about the celebrations in Mexico. I think it's totally unjustifiable. Now there's something very peculiar. Here they tell us Mexico should be expelled from the World Cup. By that same standard, France should also be expelled. Because we all know what's going to happen if France wins the World Cup, which is very likely. Since these so-called French, well, these Africans who play on the French team, they fly, they play spectacularly, they're on another level. It's crazy to me. France is by far the big favorite to win the World Cup by a lot. This French team is much better than the 2022 one by far. For me, this French team is even better than the 2018 one. They fly. That doesn't mean they're invincible, that they're indestructible, but they can definitely win the World Cup. And be careful about what could happen in Paris if they end up winning the World Cup. Careful, they'll tear Paris apart. They'll completely destroy it. So guys, back me up on this one. I think we all agree. So if Mexico should be expelled from the World Cup by the same standard, they should do exactly the same to France. Now, I think the Argentinians would really agree with me. The Argentinians would say, yes, kick France out too. No, they'd be super happy and satisfied, almost certainly. But anyway, let's continue.
For a group stage match, what do you think will happen if after the group stage we qualify for the next round?
What's going to happen? That's very interesting. The celebrations and festivities in Mexico aren't decreasing, they're getting worse. As Mexico moves forward, the celebrations get more and more intense. Now imagine a scenario that's very unlikely. But imagine that, by some chance, Mexico pulls a 2004 Greece and wins the World Cup. Let's suppose that, for some reason, that ends up happening. The situation is, Mexico City would cease to exist. I'm telling you that straight. I mean, they would completely wipe out Mexico City. It would be a brutal event, just brutal. Look, let me clarify that I'm exaggerating a bit when I say that Mexico City would cease to exist. But it would definitely be very dangerous. And actually, for the Mexicans who are watching me, I would recommend caution. I mean, for example, something like this could happen. Mexico could beat England, but I think England is the clear favorite and will most likely advance. They end up advancing, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mexico pulls off an upset and beats England. It could happen. England has already shown that they're a somewhat fragile team, that they're not in such great shape, let's just say. And besides, they're going to play at altitude in Mexico City. They'll feel more like visitors than before. It could happen. It could actually happen. If that happens, guys, be very careful if you go out to celebrate. Be extremely careful. There have been fatalities. There are people who have lost their lives. Please take precautions. But anyway, let's keep listening.
What's this going to be about? Are we just going to keep causing more and more chaos every time, or what the heck?
So much so that you have to insult the other team and belittle them.
No. Everyone involved in that mess. What were you doing? Celebrating by ruining your own country.
What? I agree. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's the truth.
It's making Mexico look really bad.
No, what a shame. I honestly feel embarrassed. These are the moments when you're ashamed to be Mexican instead of feeling proud of it.
Disgusted that once again we prove to ourselves that as a society we're in deep trouble.
With all the pain in my heart, I think the best thing for our country is to let other countries keep advancing in the World Cup and stop making ourselves known as a bunch of damn lowlifes who can't enjoy a victory in a healthy and fun way. No, we have to drag our country down. What a damn shame, honestly.
It's making Mexico look really bad.
Now, honestly, I prefer that the Mexican team keeps advancing. I'm saying this with complete honesty. I prefer that the Mexican team keeps advancing, that they beat England. I would love that. If England advances, that's just how it goes. I see it as a sport and entertainment I'm passionate about, like many of you, but it's not a big deal. I mean, if Mexico loses, it's not a big deal. I would love for them to win. Now, if they do win, for God's sake, behave yourselves. We're human beings. I mean, that's it. Guys, the number has already been updated to 5. 5 people lost their lives. 5 people, all because of some celebrations. It's just crazy. It makes no sense. How can people go out to celebrate and end up with 5 people dead? That says it all. It's incredible. But, guys, I'd like to know what you think and what your opinions are about all this. Let's see. You've already seen it. Many people say Mexico should be disqualified from the World Cup, but that's clearly not going to happen. There are also those who say that Mexico is the worst host in the entire history of the World Cups. I don't agree. Honestly, not at all, under no circumstances. Mexico has hosted epic World Cups. The one in 1970, the one in 1986, 2 of the best World Cups in history. Even this World Cup, I think, is turning out to be very good. Despite all the off-field controversies, when we talk strictly about football, I think it has been a very, very interesting World Cup with really good matches and great moments. The problem is that everything off the field, all the non-sporting stuff, has been outrageous, absolute madness with everything that's been happening. But I'd like to read your thoughts. I'd like to know what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next time.